Got a feeling that Christmas Day is near, and the spirit of Santa Claus.
Dear Lord, please give me the strength not to murder this motherfucker who thinks I'm his personal cooking concubine.
Oh, my poor child.
Lord, is that you?
Yes, Boo, it's me. And here's a little secret. On the 6th day when I created man and woman, my heavenly software was experiencing technical difficulty, and thus man is not as capable as woman when it comes to gift selection. Have pity on him, and go forth like all other women, and pretend to like a free gift.
Hey, perfect. Thank you so much.
She didn't like it, did she?
Woman is hard to pleaseth. Go forth like all other men, and keep your mouth shut.
Hello everybody, my name is Moon, and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be reviewing December the month as we get into a festive ass mood again. Yes, Christmas was a few days ago, but I need the final week of December, so hop in bitches, it's Christmas again. Here we'll be looking at the first 4 weeks of the Christmas event, and yes, there's a week 5, but since that's in January, it'll be a part of the January of the month video, and the score for that part of the event will be added on to the overall score I give on the December portion of the event in this video. Before we get started, I have recently started a Ko-Fi, so if you'd like to support me further, head on over there and buy me a coffee. Both payment methods are set up right now, and the goal is to work towards a new mic and gaming keyboard. I also like to give a thank you to Ashell for supporting my page as well, so if you want to come along with the link to my Ko-Fi, it will be in the description below or in the pinned comment. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. In the first week, after a long ass time of over 5 years, Snow was finally back in SSO.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
So to commemorate this big ass return of something that a lot of us in this community have missed for so long before I fangirl over the fucking Snow, here's a compilation of what shit in this game looks like with the brand new Snow.
Legitness.
Okay, now that's over with. I love the Snow. Is it eye drying on some objects? Yes, but is it still fucking pretty? Also yes. Y'all need to understand that when the sneak peeks and spoilers started rolling in, I actually teared up. Because as y'all know, I've played SSO since it was released globally in 2012 and grew up with seeing Snow in SSO before it was taken away and replaced with the rinky-dinky winter village. So seeing the Snow come back after so long made my little heart really happy. The best part about the damn Snow is that it has actual physics, y'all. Not snow that just sits there and look pretty. Actual snow that makes indents into the ground, y'all. And also it fucking has beautiful sound effects. Look at this. It has fucking sound effects. And also it's got a nice wintry vibe with the northern lights. It actually fits in now. Shit. You can also draw different shapes in it. I mean, look at this. Isn't it really cute? Oh my god. You know who you dirty asses are for drawing this particular shape. As a result of the Snow, Jerry can finally fucking slide on real snow and not fake ass snow or dirt and rocks. Besides the Snow, we have the start of the Christmas event with a few changes. As usual, we have the Yule Goat leading us to Holdsworth to give us a rundown on how the Northern Lights station shit works. And then you go to the Winter Village to have the Capricorn Crumble give you a rundown on how the activities work and also give you a tour on shit in the village. This year, we have switched over to, once again, another set of paper tokens with this new quote-unquote event system, which is just a blue circle with a snowflake in it. So this time, there's 2 Northern Light stations in the Winter Village, while the other one is in Jorvik. And they actually got 2 races to start off with this event, with one of them in the village instead of just being a nothingless shopping mall. So they actually start off with stuff to do somewhat. So for those of you who don't know how the Northern Lights work, each hour the Northern Lights change stations, and sadly they now only give 1 token each, while in previous years they had some bigger stations like the Yellow Goat Hunt and Alaska's Treasure Hunt shit. They used to give like 2 event currencies, so it used to be a lot more worthwhile, but oh well. Basically, you do the thing, or you just show up to the thing, take the token, and dip. The activities that are still there is Instagram fireplace, lanterns, listen to a random NPC tell a life story that somehow relates to Christmas or winter.
Attention, everyone, listen up, listen up. As some of you may know, I was supposed to be meeting my grandmother after school today for coffee and bagels. I have just received a call that she has actually been obliterated by a bus. And she has passed. Jesus fucking Christ.
Tame a Brinicle, Fonzie, or deer for a couple of minutes. Random petting zoos. Random animals that can follow you for a little bit until you go back to the winter village or your home stable or when shit rotates. Help an NPC give a gift that someone will love, hate, or scar them for life. Make your own Frosty the Snowman, the Capricorn version of wannabe Indiana Jones.
Let's do this.
Boogie astrology telescopes, as usual my personal favorite, Yule Goat hunting, and of course, James Scamcorn. For some reason, SSO couldn't think of a new idea for what James should scam us for this time now, so he still got the pit to snow that ain't worth it from the previous years. So please, if you have a shit ton of Jorvik shillings, please avoid this station, just collect the token and go. As for the warm wishes from the previous years, you can exchange them, but honestly, it's not worth it. It's either Horus XP, Jorvik shillings, or fucking fireworks. Which, by the way, the fucking fireworks stations aren't even there yet during this week. It's not even there till like week 4. You're making spending soul shards in Halloween on the RNG cauldron more worth it than spending old warm wishes on shit. Jesus. I think a better way would have been spending it to exchange for the random tokens in my opinion, or at least just something better than fucking fireworks, bruh. As usual, the damn shops are expensive as fuck, including the token shop. And here's a fun fact. If you didn't have the previous old shit from an old ass advent calendar, you would need over 600 tokens to get everything, y'all. My god. This year in the shops for old shit, some of it has become very fucking expensive as fuck. As pointed out here by Marishka Art. This is way too fucking expensive for some old ass shit. And already the new shit, which they brought out a lot of cute new stuff this year by the way, is also really fucking expensive. I get you're money hungry SSO, but come on man. This is old shit. Usually it's cheaper than your money hungry related clothing sets, bruh. Finally for existing shit. The races that came first was the sled test run flying on ice race and the easy freezy run over penguins race, except you now have a time penalty every time you hit a penguin. So now you actually have to try to dodge all penguins at all costs. But they still play the penguin choir jingle. I still miss you, penguin choir. Now that the existing shit is out of the way, let's talk about the new shit. First off, we have these hot ass sexy Gen 3 Tennessee walking horses. They're all fucking gorgeous, and if I wasn't on a only being able to buy one horse this month, I was already aiming for that damn blue roan, and his ass will come on with me whenever I have enough saved up or if he's ever on sale. Honestly, the roans in this black Sabino paint really stole the show for me, and the other coats are just as beautiful as well. They also did another bring the app horse into the game, but still put it on the app thing again. So if you want it now, get it in the game, or if you want it at level 10, do the app. I recommend just doing it from the app because it's more worth it to get it to level 10, but it's up to you. Finally, the new activity this week is the blizzards. These blizzards is where most of the grinding for the first 2 weeks, and I think the last 2 weeks according to a comment said, will occur. Week 3 and 4 is a break week, so that's why. But basically how this activity works is Crumble tells you what area to go to help people in the blizzard. You go there to help the rangers. This also gives Rider XP, and I heard that the Northern Lights also gave Rider XP, but I'm not 100% sure on that method. Anyways, you get a randomized 2 activities, and they give you 2 tokens and a decent amount of grindable Rider XP. You either get to help a Snowdin hostage, help find Landon's sheep, find the 2 ugly-ass bull-cut twins from the Goldspur family, help find Scott Buttergood's donkeys even though there's an error in the dialogue saying sheep, or help find metal detector shit with James. I do actually like this idea, but it could be better with the variety of activities for it, and I also find that the timer for how long it was staying only showed up for me once. And what I mean by that is a timer that shows how many minutes you have left before the blizzard is gone. I don't know if anybody else also experienced this, but let me know if you also saw the timer for a split second or so. Also, the blizzards can be buggy as fuck, which we'll get into when talking about the bugs in this game from this event. The only ones that I found that are frustrating are finding the bull cut twins and sometimes finding the animals. The reason is, since the twins don't leave a trail, it depends on when you run into them, so it's like when trying to find that ghost pony in South Hood from the Halloween ghost hunting activity that happened recently, except this time it's 2 small ass little shits with knives ready to stab you like Chucky the doll.
Hello. What's your name?
I am disgusted.
Bertha. See, the thing is, Bertha, there can only be one tree in this house, bitch. And that tree is me.
Thought this was a game?
911.
Officer, right there. FBI, come on in, fella.
As for the animals, it runs on a hot-cold system, meaning the closer you are, the hotter it gets. The donkeys are easier to spot than the fucking sheep because the donkeys are bigger, so they're easier to find, while sheep are smaller. And sometimes they're placed in spots that are below a cliff or on a cliff, but once you get the hang of it, it's okay until there's one animal left and you once again run around while hoping the Chucky twins don't try to cut your ankles in the process. Besides all that, it's a good idea. However, they put them at only 2 times in the day that interfered with a lot of people that either go to work or school in the morning at 8 to 10 a.m. server time, or during dinner time, with the second one being at 5 to 7 p.m. server time. I think it would be a lot better if it was in multiple areas in a day to make it more fun to help people and you get more of your worth with the tokens. For example, if there was one in Silverglade Village, you could help people get resources and supplies, or help find people buried in the fucking snow and not just in buildings, or just stuff to actually make it not only fun, but also more worthwhile and maybe immersive for some. This could also make it more fair for people who are only able to log in at certain times, and another alternate could be having more time slots than just 2. I think SSO at times forgets that the people that buy their shit also have a life, whether they're a kid that goes to school, a tired college student like me trying to make it through their class workload, an adult that's working to get another paycheck, or even a parent that's taking care of their kids, and the list goes on. The little things of making accommodations to having more accessibility helps make the whole thing not feel like rushed chores, and actually feel like we're doing a fun event activity. Besides that, depending on how much you do the blizzards, you get shit for a pink ski set thingy, which is mainly a shitty stat pink version of this set that also came with bundles and shit. And that's it besides the good rider XP. That concludes the activities for week 1. However, as usual, we still got bugs and shit in the Winter Village. We have the stuck in the ground bug returning once again, stuck in rocks bug, falling through the floor, the continuous sliding bug, stuck in the ice river bug, flickering blizzard sky, lag spikes, floating cups, finding SSO snow hell, glitched token photographs, glitched models, still can't properly pet a horse, no picture icons, glitched cutscenes with the UI on it, wrong icons, and as always, the random chaos of crashing and more. But it wasn't as bad as Halloween's crashing fiasco, in all honesty, but it could have been worse. That concludes week 1. A lot of speculation, but sort of a fun start. I actually thoroughly enjoyed week 1. But that didn't stop whatever the fuck happened in week 2. Oh god, this week. So this week, let me just start with the positives of this before I go into the negatives. First off, the riding on other animals activity is back, but with an actual purpose. Ranger Todd acts like he was gonna give you an Arctic Fox lecture until the animals interrupt him due to getting upset about how the Capricorns had a cuteness overload earthquake spasm over the Arctic Foxes, and then decide out of fucking nowhere that they decided to go insane and kidnap their wood-carved asses. And apparently they were also drunk as fuck, because they also placed them on their fucking head and jumped around like they were on crack. Todd and the other animals task you to go and run their asses over, and you can do this with just your horse or on any of the animals, and boy was this a nice stress reliever on how annoying these bitches were. After that, you get tokens and a small amount of rider XP, and that's it. Funny thing is, they worded it like it was gonna be an actual quest line, where we investigate shit to find where the foxes were kidnapped, but nope, it was a short-ass daily quest. At least it still gave rider XP, but come on, man, missed opportunity. However, the bigger the animal, the more our character headbangs like a crash test dummy in a car, so you get this. The other good thing was the return of the race around the Christmas Village race, where you still get to run over the Capricorns without any repercussions.
Cause we're not gonna be breathing out of both nostrils this season.
Too bad it's still recycled though. As for the negatives, it all started with social media, ladies, gents, and non-binary buds. SSO started posting about this gnome pet named Snoble. People saw this in the spoilers. People were hoping it was a free pet because it wasn't matching any of the magical horses, which, by the way, they'll come in week 3. Based on SSO's posts, it was detailed into giving Snoble an actual character personality and make us think we're gonna learn about him in the quest and get his ass home with us. What do y'all think happened? Did we go on some adventure to discover Snoble's family? Did Snoble want us to go on an excavation? Did Snoble finally show his face under his hat? No, this bitch was fucking for 350 star coins. A lot of people, including myself, were disappointed that Snoble, like all the other pets, was another pet we had to use our star coins on with a price tag of an old Gen 1 pony. People pointed out how the whole build-up made people think it was actually going to be a story. But nope, it was another one of SSO's draw and fake out techniques for money and shit. Now, even though I had a gut feeling it was a trap, my ass still wanted the bitch to be free. So this thing sparked me to ask y'all if y'all thought Snoble, based on the post SSO did, was gonna be a pet you get from a quest or a pet you grind for. Surprisingly, 79% said yes, they thought Snoble was gonna be a pet you get for free from grinding or a quest, while 21% of y'all said no, it's gonna be a pet you buy. Some people have also theorized that Snoble was gonna originally be a free pet, and then once SSO started posting the damn gnome everywhere and he got really popular really fast, decided to switch to having people buy him instead, which honestly I wouldn't be surprised if that was what happened, considering how money hungry they are and how the prices in the clothes of the Christmas Village is already reaching it, with shit costing 9,959 Jorvik shillings. Come on, man. It could have also been the possibility that they ran out of time for shit and just made him purchasable, or they planned it from the beginning, but who knows with SSO at this point, y'all. This also sparked again the issue of how expensive pets are in this game, along with the fact that they don't do anything besides running beside you or sitting in your saddlebag. People did make suggestions on making pets be able to sniff out treasure, or another idea they could do is potentially have pets be used in stuff like fights or tasks. Some people tried to justify the 350 star coin price tag, however, this is expensive for a pet.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
what was the reason?
Back in the day of SSO shit, most pets were below 100 star coins. It just doesn't really make any sense for the pets that don't do shit to cost so much, in all honesty. It's also expensive because most people in the game prioritize their star coins on horses and not really clothes or pets that much, unless the FOMO really gets to them.
Duke, do you want the ball?
I think pets need to be able to do shit and have a purpose besides sitting there and pose for social media pictures that make their price worthwhile. Or better yet, stop making pets expensive and lower the prices. They're not even worth shit in terms of content. It's only worth it if you want a dog, cat, bunny, etc. for your realistic roleplay or photography account. The little things that gives a feature a purpose in the game goes a long way. And unfortunately, just like other things in SSO that are affected by this, it's still ignored. Overall, this was a short-ass week when you really look at it, but week 3 is a bit long, surprisingly, and here's why. After 2 weeks, the blizzards are off for a bit, but there's more shit to do. First off, let's talk about the magical horses this year, cause ooh lord. So here's the thing, you got 2 options. You have a cocaine dandruff Icelandic or this sexy ass unicorn. So out of the 2, I went for the unicorn.
Hi, would you like to buy a ride? God damn, this bitch is fast.
Fuck, where'd she go?
You looking for the bitch on the Shire?
Yeah?
Well, too late. This bitch already left, so you're gonna have to wait another time or so, or I don't know where the fuck she went. Shit, she could be fucking anywhere in this game.
You wanna get eggnog?
Bitch, we don't drink eggnog, we drink hot cocoa.
Okay, sorry.
Listen, my inner last unicorn movie childhood's right there. And even though there's a beard, that's okay, cause Amalthea's coming home with me, bitch! Whoa! Okay, now that's out of the way. You'll need to understand that SSO wasn't gonna give us any unicorns cause of the realistic bullcrap shit. But it looks like they realized, okay, we've released a lot of magical horses in this game, so I guess we can do a unicorn. Hell, you can probably impale bitches too. This and the cocaine Icelandic also glows in the dark with random specks, which is kinda cool. But I do agree that unicorn should have had more to the magic code, such as maybe having the colors that matching owl has on its horn, some areas of the body so the blue hooves don't stand out as much. But regardless, I still love this horse, and this gave me an excuse to get a Pacifino, and also, y'all need to remember, I'm a sucker for white/gray horses, so this bitch was coming home with me regardless. As for the Icelandic, if you couldn't tell by how many times I kept calling it a dandruff or cocaine Icelandic, I'm not a huge fan of this one. Even though the normal coat is cute, all this horse is if it rolled over in snow and glitter, and that's it.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! He went all in!
Elmo? Did you do some cocaine?
You can't.
You didn't even fucking share any with me, bro! Take it out! No, I don't want any! You want some? I don't want any!
Also, the whiskers just look more like shredded cheese was glued onto the muzzle and then spray painted with the same color as the snow, to be honest with y'all, so it's not that cute to me. This also is just gonna stand out in a non-winter environment, so it's really one of those horses where if you like the normal coat and only gonna wear the normal coat, it might be fine for you. For me, it's cute, but compared to the damn unicorn, it's not magical. And so trying to justify it with the glowing glitter particles on it does not make it magical. So rating wise, the unicorn is an 8.9 out of 10. It's just missing a bit more of the pretty astral colors the owl has. This could look even prettier, but regardless, this is a fucking beautiful unicorn. As for the Icelandic Katur, he gets a 5 out of 10. Good normal coat color, but it doesn't change much in the magic code. It literally just rolled in the same crack the Gen 3 Frisian smoke to get their owl animations that caused the Katur to become more delusional. I think they're magical when they literally just rolled in snow, y'all. Glitter does not equal magical, y'all. it doesn't. Besides that, we have the return of the infamous frustrating penguin stopper race. It still stops you a shit ton, but this time it has bug where the fucking little shit penguins are floating off the damn ground and they can still spam attack you like enemies in God of War and split your ass when you don't pay attention. Just let us run them over. Just let us do the same thing that we normally do like we do in the Easy Freeze race SSO. It's not that hard. Literally, these bitches fucking stop you like they're trying to get your ass. Like, come on. I know this is Jerry's family and shit, but Jerry's family needs to quit it. Finally, we have the start of this year's event quest of the Christmas event, and for the first time I'm splitting it into weeks. So the overall grading for this quest in week 3 and 4 will happen when I go to week 4, since there's actually more to this quest, surprisingly, go figure. So let's get on to the damn recap. You can start off either going to the Winter Village and Crumble tells you to go to Ranger Joyce like it's an SOS emergency, or you can just waltz right up to Ranger Joyce to help, but my ass went to Crumble just for the sake of the length of it. Anyways, Joyce first hits you with 2 fucking questions about fucking Arctic foxes. Somehow my ass got both of these right. I don't know how, but I did, cause this bitch wants to evaluate you on goddamn foxes in a fucking horse game. A horse game. My god. Then, as Joyce asks you the second question, midway into the explanation, you hear commotion in the random itty-bitty ass stands. It's supposed to be a fucking town hall where Scott Buttergood is wearing the Bobcat Girls. Other bitches that decide to listen in that there's a damn Yeti. Now people need to run and shit. But Stacy says it's Cap, and Joyce continues on with the damn question. I still don't know how I got these 2 right, especially the first one.
Who the fuck actively pays attention to what animal crossed a long ass time?
This is literally something you would find out about in the middle of the night while surfing the web or some other shit in like YouTube Shorts or Instagram or even fucking TikTok. Anyways, Joyce then gives you one last question. This bitch asked what colors are they? And my ass knew this question. And I even looked at the fucking pictures of them just to be sure. And my ass said white and brown, because that's what I see on the fucking pictures. And tell me why this bitch says fucking blue. Bitch, is you blind? Listen, it might just be because that's the scientific name, but deadass, this looks fucking brown. Then she technically asked an explained question, but she talked about how they weren't able to get camouflage shit to Ulrich foxes. And my ass said they'd run away, and apparently I got that fucking right. And now you can ask 2 questions. Either, have you seen foxes up close, or are you coming with me? And you know damn well she's gonna say no, bro. This is Aaron Stable, not Team Stable. Joyce then says she's never seen one up close because she thinks they're terrifying, and she's making you do it because she's too fucking scared. You then head on to the return of the Iceberg Island, but new and improved, and this time it's right by Moreland and not by Golden Hills. Still no seal pets. R.I.P. seal pets. Anyways, as you go there, you take pictures of different foxes, then you head back and Joyce wants you to go and have Jenna get the photos from the camera and print them out. And this was after she makes a jab at us at how literally we just give people shit back in this game and assume we finished it. After waiting for the pictures, one of them reveals a Yeti in the background. Y'all? Why does the fucking Yeti got those ram horns and a gorilla face slapped onto Bigfoot's body, bruh? I'm sorry, this is one of not only the ugliest, but also one of the funkiest, weirdest ways someone has ever done a Yeti in games, bruh. My god. By plot convenience, Scott passes by and starts to fangirl when you show him that there's a Yeti in the pictures. Then try to tell Joyce there's a fucking Yeti after all. But this bitch fucking thinks you're delusional and sick, like you just messed up with the pictures.
How do you even mess up pictures with editing in the printer, lady?
Are you dumb? When you print shit from a camera, that's final.
If you wanna edit shit, you need Photoshop. They don't got no Photoshop in this game. The only Photoshop they ever had is that photo mode with changing the different filters, bitch.
Then this bitch has the fucking audacity to fire you and start looking for somewhere else because she was in fucking denial that there's photo evidence, bro. She's the type to play Phasmophobia and still can't fucking believe the ghost in the ghost photos aren't real. After failing to convince Joyce, you join with Scott to set up a trap for the Yeti and figure out where the Yeti is. After building the trap, Scott sets granola in the trap and all you have to do is wait, which surprisingly this is a Daybreaker quest, go figure. On the second day, the trap was a dud and it captured an Arctic fox, so Scott tasked you to go run around with a scanner that scans poop, even though this was clearly snowballs. Y'all, this game is even fucking self-aware. We're always the errand boy for everything in this game, and that's fucking sad, bruh. Also, scanning the snowballs took forever, because it was not multiple spots at once. It was go scan at this spot, then this spot, then this spot. Like, Jesus Christ, just fucking have all the spots open to make this go by quicker. After that, Scott finally believes it was snow and not Yeti poop, so then he breaks out sensor glasses, which, this looks dope, not gonna lie. And after scanning at the cliff, the Yeti appears, and this bitch runs away. I honestly thought there was gonna be a chase race, but no, it was a running away Yeti. I can't, Lord. Jesus. You tell Scott you found the most crustiest Yeti in the world. He only got sad it ran away, so he told us to meet back with his ass in a week. And that's it! So, this quest so far is interesting because I never thought SSO would do a Yeti, to be honest, since it's usually in the winter season part that's not Christmas, but alright SSO, you do you. So far this quest is very dragged out, and as for the Yeti photo part, not gonna lie, my heart did jump a little, solely because of the sound effect it made when the Yeti picture showed up, but it wasn't enough to make my ass actually like full on scared. And mind you, I don't really get scared from horror shit that much, maybe every now and then, but usually not that much. So far this quest is an interesting approach with the cliche we have on a full on mythical creature believer. Even though he used to be intimidating and shit, now he's just watered down as fuck. And then we stereotypically have the authority career person who doesn't fucking believe jack shit unless it's actually in front of her. Also, by the way, I'm writing this a day before the quest actually comes out for week 4 tomorrow. I wouldn't even be surprised if this bitch thinks the Yeti was a costume when she confronts this bitch, if they even do get to confront this shit. I'm gonna be sad if we just have this bitch keep running away, but hopefully the next week has some action for once. I'm really craving action in this game, y'all. I'm sorry, it's a magical game. There needs to be action with fantasy shit. Besides the stuffing game, we do have another issue, but it's on the mobile app of SSO. For those of you who remember my review on the SSO mobile version, y'all remember that when I tried that godforsaken version, you would remember that they had the fucking shitty ass arrow keys for the controls. Well, after a while, they actually changed the horse controls to a joystick. However, I heard it was fucked up for a lot of people. I personally haven't tried it because I refuse to go back in there. But here's the thing. If y'all really want me to, I may consider, but I really don't want to go in there again. I was already fucking almost dying from trying to do a fucking race, y'all, in a druid mission. I don't want to go through that torture again. Like, Jesus Christ. And here's the thing. I also do understand that a lot of people have issues with this. But listen, I refuse to go back to those damn arrow keys as the only option. So I think the best option is to have both options as controls. Games do this a lot, especially in mobile games. But for some reason, SSO didn't follow that. Might also explain why we still can't change keybinds in this game, but hope they make both options accessible, even though I despise the arrow keys so much on the mobile version. I really do, man. I don't know what it looks like, but I was thinking that they were going to have, in terms of a joystick, just be the steering, but still speed up with like the up and down arrows. But based on what people said, it might be the joystick turns and speeds up and slows down, but again, I have no idea. But if that's the case, then that might be why it's messed up as fuck, or it could also just be the fact that SSO is just really shitty for mobile and that it shouldn't really be a game for mobile. And what I mean by that is, I'm talking about in terms of controls. Graphically, yeah, it could probably handle mobile, but in terms of controls, it doesn't really look like it can handle that. Honestly, with how buggy this game is, I wouldn't be surprised if someone's phone or iPad just gives out from trying SSO, because when I tried that bitch, if you don't have a charger plugged in, it drains your battery pretty fast. At the time, I had an iPhone 8 Plus, which handled a lot of other games just fine, but SSO, oh god, the amount of times I crashed in that bitch on mobile. I have an iPhone 13 now, but even then, I still refuse to have my phone and myself go through that whole speculum again. Yes, I made up that word. It was that traumatizing. I'm sorry. The last thing for week 3 is more existing clothing sets are added to the game, or it's new. I mean, just tell them if it's new, because I don't fucking know. And as usual, it's expensive as fuck, with SSO really trying to push the 9,959 Jorvik shillings price on stuff. And I thought the first week's of clothes prices were bad. This is bad. That's about it for week 3, so let's get on to the very last week of December. And now, ladies, gents, and non-binary buds, we have reached the final week of 2022. This week, we got New Year's Eve shit and the final part of the Yeti quest. So to just get this shit out of the way, let's just get the New Year's Eve stuff out of the way. So, as usual, they brought back fireworks show, random-ass disco party that happens in the middle and shit. And they also brought back New Year's Eve clothes, and they have some new ones. I'm sorry, but SSO, this is not really that cute. The tag is cute, but the clothing pieces. If I had to really choose what's the cutest, maybe the beanie and the pants, but everything else, it's not really that cute. I'm sorry. I get what you're going for, but considering you don't really do sequence shit, as in actual sequence shit, it just don't look right in this game. I'm sorry. And you already know how I feel about the dresses in this game. The dress is probably the ugliest one. I'm sorry. And then finally, for New Year's Eve stuff, you can also release some fucking lanterns. Jesus Christ. The funny thing is, the fireworks prices are a lot cheaper than warm wishes. If you think about it in terms of warm wishes are more rare and shit, whereas Jorvik shillings, you can get that shit anytime, so just spend fireworks with Jorvik shillings. Don't even think about the warm wish exchange thing. I'm sorry. Now with that out of the way, let's get on to the final part of the Yeti quest. You can start this off by either, once again, going to Crumble, and Crumble sends you to go to Silverglade Village, or you can just meet Scott over there. But honestly, he's really at Steve's farm. I don't know why they said Silverglade Village, but I guess because it's close, but just say Steve's. It's literally right there. Basically, Scott explains to you that some shit was actually attacked over there, so you both decide to go and investigate shit to figure out what it is. In this part, they acted like there was claw marks and shit, but to be honest, I only really saw scratch marks on one thing, unless if I'm really blind. But this part was actually cool for the most part, because you're actually investigating and shit more. After investigating and shit, Scott tells you that it's actually mini Yetis, which I did not expect many fucking Yetis in this part. I thought I was just gonna be the big ass Yeti. No, it got fucking minions and shit. After seeing the mini Yetis head to Hollywood, Scott suggests following them, so you both go into Hollywoods and follow their trail. You both go to a campfire spot in Hollywoods, and you both decide to create a fire. After finishing said fire, literally the fucking mini-ass Yetis decided that they wanted to fucking blow the fire out, and they decided they wanted to fucking attack your asses with snowballs. Scott tasked you to start making a bunch of snowball ammo, and now it's time for the ultimate anticlimactic snowball fight that you'll ever see on this fucking channel.
Okay.
After beating the shit out of the mini Yeti snowball squad, you and Scott regroup and discuss what the fuck just happened. And as you're discussing what happened, an Arctic fox appears, asking y'all for help. And thanks to Scott Buttergood's out of nowhere animal translation. By the way, once again, this is very out of character for this man. This man usually acts like an abuser. I'm sorry. Scott manages to translate from the fox that basically her kids are fucking stuck somewhere. So you both decide to go help the fox. You both teleport outside of this big ass cave, which the foxes already ran in, and you and Scott both head on in to figure out what the fuck is going on. Upon entering the dark ass cave, you start investigating and you find claw marks and fur and shit, and you realize that this is definitely not a fucking cave of foxes in. You then find the foxes' babies and you go rescue the foxes. Scott gets a bad feeling about the cave and you both dip out of there. However, Scott somehow gets stuck in ice shit outside of the cave. I don't know how this man did it, but he got stuck and he somehow went over there but not near his horse at all. Scott explains the Yeti actually trapped him in there, and he says try to use some heat from the magical looking fire that conveniently appears out of nowhere. So now you're fucking battling a Yeti. And honestly, I thought this was gonna be just the usual 1, 2, 3 charge thing. No, this actually took a while, surprisingly. Like, Jesus Christ. Basically, you just repeatedly go into the fire, charge his ass, then you go into another fire, and charge his ass again. Keep doing that until you're able to bend his will like the dragons in the Dragonborn DLC of Skyrim. After beating his ass, Yeti finally is like, oh my god, you actually care about your friend's well-being and shit to actually go against me like this shit? So how about we just have a nice discussion? You and Scott confront the Yeti, and turns out the winter weather is also affecting the Yeti and his mini Yetis. I guess it's his fucking babies. I don't know how that's possible, but I guess it's his babies. He said the reason why he was attacking was because of the fact that we accidentally took his picture while we were taking pictures of foxes. And then he got upset when we told people about it. So basically he was tracking our asses from the very beginning. He asked for the picture back, and he asked Scott and yourself to please keep him anonymous like any other YouTuber face reveal and shit until another time. And he said that he'll probably help another day. And with that, you're now both tasked to go and make a sad trek all the way to Silverglade Village and tell fucking everybody that you basically just missed seeing shit and that it was manipulated and shit. After Scott makes a shitty announcement that, in fact, the Yeti was quote-unquote not real, Joyce and the fucking Bobcat girls were like, I fucking knew it was Cap all along, yada yada. And Joyce was like, okay, you can now come help me with this Arctic fox shit. So you follow her to the fucking winter village, build some nests for some foxes. She gives you a free fox because one of them was too attached and shit. And that's the end of this quest. What was this ending? Alright, so now that I have finished the full Yeti quest, I will be giving my pros and cons of this whole quest from week 3 and 4. First off, the pros. I actually did like the interesting approach with this a lot, especially with the investigating shit. And even though it is still very out of character to hear fucking Scott become a mythical creature bitch and also caring for you somewhat, this was really fun, surprisingly. And not gonna lie, I actually did enjoy the snowball shit and the fucking beat the Yeti with charging fire. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though it was anticlimactic by just literally running back to the same spots over and over, it was still fun. Even though it was a cliche, it was done pretty alright for the most part, and I think it was thoroughly enjoyable. It honestly might be the most enjoyable event quest that I had this year, so alright SSO, you do work. As for the con, I think I just mainly didn't like the ending. It kind of just felt like it was a really good build-up with looking for shit for this Yeti, finding the fucking cave, shit like that. But I just didn't really like how it ended because of how it just quickly shifted to the Yeti all of a sudden wanting to have this kumbaya moment, and that he was actually just a peacemaker all along. He was just stalking you just so he could remain anonymous and shit. And then you come home looking stupid as fuck.
I know you're up to something. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this, and I will find you, and I will.
Thought this was a game?
911.
Officer, right there. FBI, come on in, fella.
Honestly, I might have just rather preferred just proving Ranger Joyce wrong, in all honesty, because I think it would have been more interesting to see her reaction to the Yeti and a bunch of others to see how shit proceeds and that sort of thing. But I can also kind of see why, since they don't want to have the Yeti be experimented on and shit. But it just kind of felt like the mood and the drive it had for the quest was brought down in this part personally for me. And the only really good thing about it was the snowball fight, fighting the Yeti, and getting a fox out of it. It's not really something I would write home about. It just basically felt like all the shit we did in part 3 and before talking to the Yeti was was not worth it. And it's such a shame too, cause they could have done so much more. I would have loved to see the Yeti actually come fucking into the cave and shit. You get to go in deeper and you actually find more shit in the cave. But no, this is the closest we got. Besides that, I think that's really my only gripe with this event quest. It was pretty enjoyable, but I feel like more could have been done to make it more thrilling and not just, oh, it's gonna run away. Oh, we need to charge into shit. I wish there was just a bit more action, and I think it would probably be good. And the ending just for it to not be completely shitty. So now that I have officially gone over everything in the Christmas event for the December portion, now my overall thoughts on the whole thing. This event actually kind of exceeded my expectations so far somewhat. I honestly thought Snow would only come back when they fixed their tech debt shit, but damn, we got our Snow back. So far, this event has been pretty enjoyable so far, but that doesn't excuse the recycled shit, bugs, and more issues with this event. For starters, y'all, this advent calendar was more weird than last year's. I was already expecting the horse speed coming out of the calendar without a warning, horse food, money, and event currency, but what are the clothes this year, bruh? They're weird. They don't even match.
It's probably like fucking PT scary. Let's click on it.
As y'all saw in my intro, the outfit that I made from it, the shades don't even match, bruh. Let alone most of this shit was ugly. I'm sorry. By far, the ugliest clothing pieces were the pants, this ugly ass snowman cookie looking bubblegum mess hat, and the dresses, cause these weren't it, chief. We have one pants that looks like it was dipped in grits for the dye, one that looks like a kid spilled their pixie sticks on the end of someone's leggings. These two coat dresses are literal recolors of each other. And then this rip-off Elsa dress to top off the cake of how ugly this shit is.
I feel like a model. Oh, bitch! Let me not do that ever again.
The only outfit, as I stated, that you can make with this is the pink coat with the blue pixie dust leggings and this ugly hat. But even then, as I said, the shades don't even look right. The only decent stuff was the halter, this green top with the necklace, the black woolly looking beanie, and as usual, the star coins. Even though I think they should honestly increase the amount of star coins that we get in clothes and also in allowances based on the economy of this game, because it's really broken. Who knows what else they want to do for the advent calendar, but so far, it's just a weird mixed bag for me. Next, the amount of glitches and bugs I found from just purely falling off the ice path or jumping in a spot on the ramp or just not making jumps and shit. It's just fucking astronomical, bruh. It's not on the level of Halloween where most of it functioned like shit, but it still had old bugs from last year, like the levitating from the rats of the last lava jump and the run around the Christmas tree village race and some other shit. Luckily, it didn't impact my experience to where I got frustrated like I did with Halloween, but honestly, any more broken and my ass would have lost it.
Oh, hell no! Nigga! Nigga, from drinking water? You die from drinking. You could die from drinking.
Next, the activities. Even though the northern lights were recycled, I did like the changes with putting 2 in the village to give it a purpose more and not just be used as an empty area after shopping. It actually made it more useful to go there. The races were also recycled, but I'm glad they are showing they can do time penalties, even though I miss just running over the penguins in the easy freezy race and just hearing the funny sound effects. I still hate the fucking penguin stopper race though with a dying passion. For new activities, I loved the blizzards and the saving the Arctic foxes with the rideable animals because it was fresh for the most part. Just wish it was either built on more story-wise as an actual quest for the Arctic foxes, even though I sort of got that from the Yeti quest, even though it was a bit more tame. And as for the blizzards, I wish it had more variety in places, as I stated earlier, and that there was more stuff to do and that it was more accessible with the time slots or just having more spots in each time spot to at least make the event fresh. It was also one of those things where it did turn into being repetitive and starting to feel like a chore, but it was fun, and it was also turning into another usual activity that we would do to just get the rider XP and tokens to grind for shit. I would have appreciated if they'd warn us that the blizzards would be out for a bit. Just saying, SSO, you just took them out without a warning, dude. Like, come on, like, Jesus Christ. I just hate when you remove shit without telling us. Like, come on. Next, the event horses this year were definitely better than the sad not going with the theme Arabians last year. Just wish there was a little bit more to actually make them more magical instead of just using the excuse that they have glow-in-the-dark glitter and that they're able to change forms and shit. Oh no, honey. Glitter does not equal a magical horse. Literally, you just made a snow, cocaine, dandruff, dusted Icelandic and called it magical because it had some glitter in it. As for the unicorn, it's basically the most worth it in my opinion because it's fucking gorgeous. Even though more could have been added to it with making it a little bit more colorful here and there, but still keeping it pretty and wintry. But regardless, it's still pretty to me, and I got my Amalthea. Next, once again, New Year's so far has gotten the small straw of the pile, and it's still getting fireworks, expensive clothing, and going to an Instagram spot disco every hour. I wish there could be actual fun New Year's Eve activities that's not fucking fireworks, going shopping, going to a disco. It's been overused ever since SSO has existed. This shit was fun for the first couple of times, but it's more and more obvious that it's just recycled as fuck. Why not have a reflection memory race or like a throughout the years quest or something that's fun and exciting to look back at shit in this game, or just a fun activity to do for once for New Year's SSO? Y'all need to get creative, and this last week needs to show it or something, because this is just recycled shit. Next, oh god, the prices. SSO honey, this is expensive as fuck. Even your bundles are just as expensive as the clothes in the game at this point. Look at this. Y'all either need to make the Jorvikshilling's cap bigger, or just remove it entirely, or give a bigger Star Coin allowance, or better yet, lower the damn prices. This could honestly equate to the price of trying to get a whole set of a Gen 3 breed dude. Next, the new clothes this year for the event currency shop are really cute, and they have 2 pet options from the get-go. So far, I have the first 2 sets and some of the last set, but I don't have the new pets from the event currency yet. I believe the squirrel is recycled, but for some reason my ass never got it. I don't know why, but I'm still gonna get his ass. But I think out of all the events, these event clothes in the shop are the cutest out of all the event shops this year. And the reason being is because not only are they cute, but they also have good stats. My favorite has to be either this red plaid set or the fuzzy cowboy look. Y'all did a good job on the event clothes this year for both event currency and some that you just buy with Jorvik shillings or star coins. Just go burn those pool tile dresses and shit and call it a day. Finally, the quest of the hour, the Yeti quest. As I stated in week 4, I did like it. I just didn't really like the ending since it just went downhill after the Yeti told us to keep him anonymous and shit. It was similar to building up tension in the Halloween quest this year with whether or not to help Roderick's funky ass stay hidden or let him get taken in the streets. But this time, it was the thrill and excitement. Even though I got annoyed at the poop scanning part, I did enjoy investigating shit. Pun not intended, by the way. And it was seeming like it was properly built up, but it got rushed at the end now that I think about it. It was just left off with, we just did all that work for nothing and now we looked even more stupid because of it. Why not just have fucking Joyce see the damn Yeti and still have a friendship moment as I stated before? If they just wanted to make a Yeti friendship so badly, just make it something different that's not just out of the cliche and ruining it, and not the, oh my god, you took a photo of me, time to try to kill your ass and get it back shit. It was more so like the usual Yeti cliche that was being written well, but someone fucking erased the ending and rewritten it themselves like some toxic D&D shit and said that that was better than the old ending. I did like the battles with the Yetis, just wished it wasn't so anticlimactic with the charging as I stated before, and it was also just kind of easy when you go back and forth. Not really that exciting and anticlimactic, but it just needs a bit more thrill for me. Also, that was another thing that I forgot to mention in week 4, so there you go. It was just really easy if you just pummeled them or if you just went back and forth in the fire pits. It was that easy. So now with that out of the way, as always, time for the usual questionnaire I give y'all on the events. Except this time, it's split to cater the first 4 weeks of this event. So be prepared for another questionnaire for January. First question, did you participate in an event? And 89% said yes, and 11% said no. Second question, so far with the first 4 weeks, did the Christmas event improve? And ooh lord, this is basically a 50-50, but 59% said yes, and 41% said no. And I think this is for the first time the yes side won on this question. I could be wrong though. And I do have to agree that so far it did somewhat improve here, but there's still recycled and expensive shit in this game. It did improve from the snow, the blizzards, and some other new activities that was added, but there's still a lot of work to do for the Christmas event overall. Third question, did you like the advent calendar? And so far, 72% said hell no. Thank you, by the way. And 28% said yes. And I couldn't agree more that this advent calendar is wacky as fuck. And honestly, it's just mainly due to how most of the clothes are ugly or don't match. And I just want to know, who up there in SSO thought this was a good advent calendar? Because they need an ass whooping for the clothes, bruh. Who looked at this advent calendar and said, yes, these clothes are fab. They need to fucking go in the fucking game. Like, what the fuck? Fourth question. I asked, did you like the new changes so far in the Christmas event? And 62% said yes, and 38% said no. And I think so far with SSO's supposedly new event system, this one is starting to look somewhat the most successful in terms of the other events that came out this year, despite the grass with it. And it honestly might just be because since not much really changed that badly, or stuff changed, but it wasn't so drastic that it made people lose their shit. Fifth question, I asked, what activity did you like the most in the event so far? And overall, the majority of y'all said the snow, the blizzards, the Yeti quest, and the Arctic foxes. Some people said the horses, the snowman dress-up activity, or y'all didn't really enjoy it that much due to the recycledness of it. But as always, there's usually one response in here that kills me every time, bruh. Girl, I don't blame you, because most of us are doing this fucking event just to grind for the clothes and shit and the pets. Y'all know damn well that you just grinding for the damn tokens just to buy shit. And the final question. So far with this event, are y'all enjoying it? And 59% said somewhat, 17% said yes, 8% said no, and 16% said I don't know, which I can agree with that it's at a somewhat for me as well, because if I had to say it's at an I, but is it a 10 out of 10 right now? No, not really. It's not even that close, to be honest with you. It's okay. It's just missing a little more. I do have to say it's so far performing a lot better than most events so far that we've had this year. It's a bit of a meh. And it's also just because of, 1, it's really recycled, 2, shit's expensive, and 3, some stuff could have been done better. And that's honestly just a lot of issues with SSO events. We're still getting bugs that we saw from last year into the next event. Either y'all are just copy and pasting the event, or y'all just don't go into the effort to actually thoroughly see if there's actually any bugs in the fucking event. Plus, I also feel like it's still missing stuff to expand activities to not feel like a chore, and it still really should work on making activities in the events not feel so repetitive and chore-like, and actually be fun for once. Hi, now with that out of the way, time for the grading portion, which is gonna have scores set to what each category is set at for now until I experience the whole event and see if it was any good or if it got worse. Activities, 3 out of 5. Planning, 3 out of 5. Character incorporation, 2.5 out of 5. Purchasable products, event currency or not, 2 out of 5. And that's mainly because of how expensive it is. The looks carried basically half of it, but the prices is just very expensive. Presentation, 4 out of 5. Even though the Winter Village still looks slightly gloomy since the remodel, I think overall with the Northern Lights and the snow in Jorvik, it lightened it up a little bit. Quest, 3.5 out of 5. And that's mainly due to the ending. Horse XP, 3 out of 5. Rider XP, it's at a 2 out of 5. It's decent, but it could be better. And overall, that goes to so far a score of 23 out of 40. And on a 10-point scale, it's a 5.75 out of 10. And that honestly might be the highest rating I've ever given for an event so far for this game, which, good job, SSO. You might have made this the best event you've done this year grade-wise. Who knows? Well, y'all, we've reached the end of the roadmaps of this year. And with that, we What, Cherry? You've been fucking tugging at my leg on my fucking horse for like the past hour or so. We had one more thing to do? Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Hit it, Jerry. Yes, y'all saw that right. For the finale of the roadmap reviews of this season, we have the end of the year review, and for the first time, the 2022 Star Stable End of the Year Awards, created by yours truly. For those of you who saw on my Instagram, Ko-Fi, or the community tab on YouTube, you would have seen I posted a Google form on different options in different categories to vote on this year. I have more info on the post made on my Instagram, Ko-Fi, and community tab. The end of the year review and awards will take place in, obviously, the end of the year review video, which is on Saturday, which should be the last day of December, which is December 31st. And tomorrow, there will actually be a segue video on the best edits and /or moments in 2022 on my channel. I can't thank y'all enough for the support on not just this idea, but also my channel in general, so really, thank you. I've had a blast making the first season of the roadmap reviews, and I can't wait for what's gonna happen with the next season of roadmap reviews, because this has honestly been fun, and I'm glad that I get to share with y'all me reviewing shit in this game. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and as always, check out my stuff below on social media and my Ko-Fi, and I'll see you at the awards. Bye-bye!